Okay, so the first thing is let's get it out of its jumbled position regarding the middles here. So there's no technique with this. Like with all jumbling puzzles, the first step is just to do what you can to turn this. If you find it blocked, like over here, then obviously you got to move something. I moved something. It blocks it over here. We'll come back to that. Turn this over. It's not that I don't enjoy jumbling, it's just sort of an extra step that you got to get through. I do enjoy the process of changing orbits though. So this comes into over here. So we know that this is a problem. This won't turn. So I think we need to really define more how we're going to get these to move here. All right, that's good over there. That's good over here. So I'm just sort of turning things. This makes sense over here. This is really the first step. This turns over here. This won't turn. You can see this piece is blocking it, so I'm simply going to move this in a position where it's unblocking it, then turning it, hoping it doesn't block this. Sometimes it does. In this case it didn't. This has to turn blocked by here, so we simply turn this to an unblocking position, which blocks this, so maybe I got to turn this unblocking here. Whoop. Okay, so this is a situation where one seems to block another, seems to block another. So I can't turn this without blocking this, so I think the key is going to be maybe getting these first. And moving this over here. I'm going to come back to this one here. Turn this over here. Okay, now maybe I can orchestrate an exchange, maybe here to here. I'm just taking these pieces that are blocking pieces, turn this all the way around, and nope, this is blocked over here. And I don't want to use this because it's going to continue this whole blocking thing. So maybe I'm just going to do a different piece, which is this, put it in this position. Maybe. Yeah, this one loves to block. Okay, so, okay, take this around here. Now, did this do me any good? Well, turn this to here, this to here. I'm just seeing what can be done. And I don't think that did me much good, but we'll try. Okay, we're still blocked here. So this is part of that difficulty-ness that I was talking about. Anything else I need to do here? No. Okay, so this won't move because of here, and as long as I have this wedge in here, that's going to be a problem. So let's see if we can move a different piece like this. Now we can move it, and then we'll see about moving this in to here. Nope, still won't. I think what I may need to do is bring this around here, this around here. Maybe this around here, turning it, yeah, so this is still blocking me quite a bit. Okay, so now I can turn this. Alright, so I just had to do some exchanging. This is the part that I'm not going to get too much into detail with, just figure it out. It's the only part of the puzzle that has the unpredictability of the solve, and unpredictability is not a bad thing. Okay, now that we have it here, let's try to get it back into the cubic shape as much as we can. So we're going to be taking opportunities of putting things here that are supposed to be here. If not the right color, then at least the right shape. But we can try the right shape too. So for instance, blue and orange is over here. So can I coax it into here? We'll turn it to here, turn it to here, and I can. So let's orchestrate an exchange. This will come down to here. And this will go to here, this will come up, and this will come down. And we'll move this back to its quote non-jumbled place, so now this is in. This is obviously in the wrong orbit, but if I move it here, it puts it in the right orbit. So let's see if we can maybe bring that over to here. Or if not there, then maybe here. So let's orchestrate an exchange that way. I don't want to use this, so these three will be potentially exchanging. Let's move this into its position. Now again, I'm just going to try to take this and move this into this position over here. So I'm going to move this like so. And now we're going to go down, down, up, up. That's in this position. Simply move this back. Okay. So here's orange and pink. It's upside down if I put it in this position here. So that might be okay for now. However, it won't be upside down if I put it in this position. So let's orchestrate an exchange, bringing this over to here. So I'm going to go up. And actually, this is bandaged here. So I can't move this because of this. So I'm just going to put this into this position so it can move. So we're going to go turn, 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 and this comes back. We can turn this back over here. Turn this back over here. Okay, so this is in the proper place, well, the proper rotation. Now I want to move it to here. This is in the way. We'll have to move this out of the way with an orange. If we can get an orange, great. If not, that's okay too. Okay, here's a red. This is in the right orbit, so I just want to move this red over to here. So I'm going to go down, down, up, up. I've got this red in here, so it frees it up just a little bit more. Okay, here's a blue over here. Well, let's see what else we've got. I'm looking towards getting this to here. This moving into here. So I could move it like so and exchange it with this guy. So we're going to go up with the orange matching over here, down, turn, and turn. Okay, that brings this in this position. So now this is solved. So we take a look at what else we have. Here's a pink, which wants to go all the way down around here. Might be hard to move that, but it can be done. So I'm going to take this, turn it here, turn it here. Now it's in line to be placed over to here. So we're going to go down, down, up, up. Now this is in place, so we simply move all these guys back. Okay, this is upside down, but let's free up some more things before we start doing our magic with that. What belongs here? Well, this is going to be an orange in the correct position. Even if I can't get an orange in the correct position, let's just move something that's in the right orbit here. It's going to be this. These are not in the same orbit, so you can tell because of how they're being faced. So let's go ahead and do an exchange here. We'll go down, down, up, up. That puts this in over here, so that's pretty good. This can come to the green over here, so we're going to exchange this over to here. So right now I'm just trying to get it to a cubic shape. This will be in the correct orbit here, so we're going to go down, down, up, up, and this will come back over to here. Okay, so we could start putting others in before we get it into the cubic shape. We've got some other opportunities perhaps. For instance, this can finally come to here. So I'm going to move this in this position. And move this over here, and we'll go down. Oop. Let's look at that again. Yeah, okay. We'll go down, down, up, up. This moves back here. And this moves back over here. All right, let's move this red and green to here. So down, up, up, down. So you can get it all back in the cubic position if you want and start putting these in after that. I choose to just take some opportunities as I can because that'll mean less work later. Okay, this to go to where the pink is, which is all the way down here. So I can move it here, here, and here, and go down. Let's move this in here. Down, down, up, up. Move this here, move this here. Oop, rather move this all the way back here. And now this goes turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so really all we have these three. We can choose to just put this back in the right position now if we want to, or not. We can just approach that later, but I suppose we might as well. This is in the wrong orbit to come into here, so it's going to have to be this orbit over here. This is also going to be in the wrong orbit as well because it's not facing flush up here, but I can make it face flush up here by going like that. The only problem is that I can't turn it from here, so I have to move it all the way around here. I don't know that I want to do it quite like that. Now there's this that we can use as well. Let me see what happens if I take this, and I need to face it flush over here. So I'm going to move this up to here, and then like so. Okay, the reason that I did that is because now this can participate with here, because I can continue that process. Now I'm going to do that technique that I did to make this go to here, this go to here, and this go to here, and that'll work. So this will move up, this will move up over here, then we orchestrate our exchange, down, down, up, up, this comes back, this is now safely tucked into here, this turns over to here, this is safely tucked into here, and shebang. Now we can do something similar here. These two have to switch, but they're in the wrong orbit. So let's see how we're going to do this. If I move this, I don't want to move it like that. I'm going to take this, move this up to here. So this will end up here in the correct orbit. This will end up here, and this will end up here. And I think by the parity of the puzzle, there's no choice but to be in. So this will come to here in the correct orbit. This will come here, and this will come over here. Well, let's see what happens. Down. Turn this here, down. Up. Up. Down. Oh, okay. All it did is it put these two here. That's all right. Let's see what happens. Okay. So this is actually in the correct orbit to come over to here. This to over here. So if I move this to here. So I know that this is in the correct orbit to come over to here. So I'm going to move this to here and go turn, 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 turn. Okay, now I'm going to move this into here and then move it down, and it worked. Okay, so it's just a matter of deciphering which orbits you need to be, and you can see we're back into our non-shape-shifted form. And so we can just start moving things around. Any opportunities to bring things in that aren't upside down, I like to put these wedges in first. So let's see, here's a yellow, and that can go over all the way to here. So let's move this into position. Now what is it going to exchange with? Well, I don't want it to exchange with this, so let's move another one in, like this guy. Like so, okay? I just have to find my way back home. So turn. Now in so doing this, some of these that are upside down, I'm going to be turning right side up. This is the easiest to bring back in. Okay, now I've got it's easy to find a way back home. You just keep making your turns until they come in. So boom. So this is in here. These are all fine. Okay, so this is upside down. This is probably upside down. So let's do our technique to bring that up. So this is going to come up over to here, and then we're going to orchestrate an exchange. This is probably upside down too, I would imagine. So we're going to go, I got to bring this to here. So move this down, down, up, up. That's actually right side up. Thank goodness. Move this back down here. Now this simply comes over to here. I'm going to take this that I put in this area here and go turn, turn, turn. Okay, now we orchestrate an exchange. This will be taken out but not turned upside down. So up, down, down, up. We'll simply move this back. See, it's still right side up, just in the wrong place, and now we move this down over here. Okay? So now we can start moving this to here. Okay. We'll go. All right, we're going to be using this one, although it'll be taken out, but that's okay for now. Down. Down, up, up. Okay, this is now in, and now I want to get this in. So we're going to orchestrate an exchange here. Down, down, up, up. This comes over to here. Okay. Okay, so I need to coordinate this going to here. I've got this one that can participate, but all these others here can't. But so I want to exchange these two. For now, then I can exchange it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to take this and move this into here. So get it out of the way. Put this in its place, move it up, move it across, move this back. This will still be within the yellow and I'll have two that are out. Now I'm going to move this in. So I just put this in here as kind of a dummy one. So now I can orchestrate an exchange with this. Okay, so we're going to go down, down, up, and up. This goes back over here. Oh, not in yet. Went the wrong way, didn't I? Okay. Down. Down. Up. Up. This comes back here. This comes back here. Okay, so this is in. Now I messed up some of the oranges, but that's going to be easy to get back. So I want this green to come over to here. So let's get this out of the way. Turn, 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 and turn. This is back and over here. Okay, you see this is upside down. This is also upside down. So we're going to orchestrate our exchange like that. I'm so used to doing it on the right side. It might get a little confusing. But it's the same kind of concept. Move this up over to here. And now we're going to get this down to here. We have to exchange it with something else. It can be any one of these. They're not going to be turned upside down. They'll just be taken out momentarily. So we're going to get this out of the way. Move this in. Bring it up. Bring it down. Okay, so this was taken out, but that's okay for now. Now we're going to bring this over here. Now we're going to slip this to here so that it can do its rotation. Now we're going to take this that was brought all the way to the back. We're going to bring it all the way to the front. Turn, turn, and turn. And now we orchestrate the exchange once again. This comes up here. Turn, turn, down, and down. And now I move this down like so. This comes up here. This comes up here. And this turns over here. Okay, so at the end of the day, this was turned right side up. So now we take all the things that we took out and put it back in. This one, so as you can see, this needs to go here, this needs to go here, this needs to go here. That's a pretty easy exchange there. Now you see me struggling with the turn sometimes. I end up turning more than I wanted to. So this goes here, here. So I gotta be pretty dead on when I move it, and here. Okay, this will come all the way back here, and this will come back over here. Okay, so fair enough. What else do we have of these guys? So we've got this and this. Anything close, they all seem to be totally opposite each other. This has to go all the way down here. So wouldn't you know it, I have this long journey that I have to take with them. And I believe they're upside down too. So what I'm going to do first is let's just turn it upside down. However, I need to turn it upside down with this guy, so I'm going to move him over here. And this is where the challenge comes from. This is the perspective bending aspect of it. Okay. All right, so here's how we're going to do that upside down version. We're just going to go ahead and make that happen. This will come over to here. Actually, is it upside down? Yeah, it's upside down. If I turn it in here, you can see that it is. So this needs to go to here. So we're going to get it out of the way, move this up, bring this in, move this back. Now here's where the algorithmic thinking comes from. Notice I didn't turn this upside down. I'm just going to sort of follow the pattern almost by rote. I know this comes up over here. And this is moved back over here. And I know this is going to be taken all the way around here. So we're going to move it in through here. So this will come up, down, across, and up. All right, then this will make its way all the way around. And I'm going to move this back. Well, I don't have to yet because now this is where it needs to be. And I think the next step is to go ahead and move this back where it's supposed to be over here. And in the meantime, this can come back over to here. So turn and turn. Turn and turn. So we're going to go down, down, up, up. This will turn back, which as long as I don't move it 1,000 times, this will move back over here, and this will move back over here. Okay, so with that said, I now want to take this and exchange these two. Because this can come up to here. I'm going to take another one. This will end up over here is what I want. So I'm going to move this over to here. So let's put it up here. Turn, 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 turn. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to turn this over here, turn this over here. That brings that here. Now this can launch itself down to here. Turn and turn and turn. Look at that. Look how that was coordinated. So that's all over here. And now I've got this out and this out. Okay, so to make this happen, I have to borrow upon the equivalencies of these pieces over here. So one of these have to participate in this process. So let's go ahead and do this one just by random chance, just by randomness. So I'm going to let this one participate. So we're going to go down, down, up, up. So this is in. Move this back over here. Now I got to move this into this place, which I can do. So I'm going to move this to here. And then to here. And I'll move this down, but I have to move another one in. And it's got to be of the same orbit, which will be this guy over here. Actually, why don't I not use that guy? Because, well, I'll end up moving him out. So I'm going to use this guy instead. They're in the same orbit. So we're going to go down, down, up, up. This comes here, this comes here, and this comes here, and this comes here. And we got it. So all of these are now in. I had to use one of these. When you have two that are out, then I have to use the others there. Okay, so now it's a matter of getting these guys in. This is the next part of my sequential solve. And I have a way of doing that. I can take, let's see, this green one, I can move, do my clockwise rotation here, and then bring this up like this. And now this can move to here, but if I move this in place instead, like this, now this will move into this place over here. So we'll go ahead and do our algorithm. We got to jump a little bit. This will come up over here. This will come up over here. So they're facing each other, same orbit. Then I'm going to exchange it. Turn, 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 and turn. This comes over to here. We pop that back. We got the pink one in. This turns over here. We pop this back. We got the green one in. So a nice little exchange. Okay, let's see what other opportunities. And again, this is the fun part. This allows for this variation of solve here. Let's say I want to get this yellow up to here. I can't do it like this because it'll block that the way that I do it. I could orchestrate it a different way, but what if I moved it over here? And now I can do this, and this will come over to here, which is what we want. This will come to here, this will come to here. So we're going to go turn, turn, I go down, up, 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 turn, and turn. Okay, so this is in over here. I want to get this to here. So I'm going to move this like so. This will go here, this will go here, and this will come up to here. So we're going to be moving the orange one in. And turn, 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 and turn. This comes back down to here, and indeed we got the orange one in, so we're good. All right, what about this blue? What can we do about the blue? Well, I can turn the blue here. I can do a little bit of fancy footwork, I suppose. Well, it'll have to turn over here. So I want to get a blue one in here. I've got this blue here, so I can go splat. This green will come over to here. Now I want to put this yellow in play. So if I move this to here, this yellow will end up here, this blue will end up where it needs to be here, and this green will end up uselessly back here. So we're going to go turn, turn, bring it down, up, up, back. I know my descriptions aren't exactly what's happening. This turns over to here, this is now in play over here, and splat. Okay. Alright, so far so good. Now we've got this to come into here and this to come into here, so I'm going to bring this up like so. This will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So turn, turn. Well, see, once you've got it, it's not that difficult, but it is fun just in terms of getting things where you want it to be. And now we've got the other one in here. Okay, this blue is all the way across to the other side, so if we can move that, that would be great. Okay, maybe we can orchestrate this to come into where the red is supposed to be. It's just a matter of how I want to hold this. Okay, if I hold it like this, eventually this red will come down to here. Anything that I can do here. Nope, so we'll just do it twice. Turn. These aren't very long algorithms, so even if I've got to do it a couple of times, it's no big worry. This will come back over to here, this will come back over to here, and one more. Turn, turn, across, and back. This turns over here, and I've got my red one in. So now I've got all the red ones in. Now how to get the green one? Well, the green one, this can come up to over here. This will end up here. This blue will end up here. Now the problem is that this green will end up here, so I don't want to do it exactly like that. Okay, what I'm going to do first then is let's move this blue over here. So we'll do that. We'll do that first. So turn, 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 and turn. Okay, so now I'm simply going to move this like so. And now this blue will move here to be exchanged for this green, which will be over here, which will take this blue away from 180 degrees from where this is, which is kind of what I wanted to do as well. This will move over to here, turn up, turn, and back. This will go all the way here. So you can see we now have all the greens in. So now we're ready to do a lot of these guys. Putting blues in and putting oranges in. Let's see. So I like the idea of going like this and this, because this will put this blue where it needs to be over here. Turn and turn. Turn, turn, across, back. Okay, this puts this orange in, and this puts this blue in, so we're doing well. So you can see we've got it down to just a couple. Maybe we want to put a pink one in here. This is pretty far away from the pink, but we can make it happen. So I'm going to turn, now if I start turning from here, I'm going to get it back in the same shape, as you recall. So I'm going to go like this, turn, turn, and turn. So now I'm free. I can easily bring that back just by reversing that, but now I've got these guys in play. And I'm free to do whatever I want with them. So I can take this pink and I guess get it closer to where it needs to be, but more importantly I can move this orange in, so I can turn it over like so. And now I can move this like thus. Okay, so now I'll move this to here, turn and turn. Okay, I actually want to move this yellow to here, so I'm gonna move this down first, put this yellow in place over here, move this up, and then move that back. Okay, and now this will come to here and down. So that's okay. Now I don't want to move this back as of yet, because if I do, this is going to come like this, and this orange will be out of place. I don't want to do that. So now I'm going to do it again where this will go here. I basically want to move this orange into this place. So this will go here, this will go here, and I really just want to move this pink where this is. So this will come down to here, this will come up. The movement is so delicate, it's really hard to sometimes get it where I want it. This will come over to here, this will move here, here, and boom. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get this back by doing turn, turn, and turn. Okay, now we see where we're at with things. You can see that we've got an orange that wants to be where this is. We've got some blues, we've got some pinks. How are we going to do this? Well, this orange can come over to here, and this blue will end up over here. So let's move this and put this in play. And I need to get this orange where this is. So I'm going to move this to here and this to here. To get this orange to here, what that means is I'm going to get this out of the way, put this in, move this in, bring it back. Alright, so I can go like this, if it'll let me, and turn. So this orange is now in play, and I've got this over here. Okay, so all I have left are these two. They're nice and far away from each other. So to put that in, let's see how we can orchestrate this. Well, we can easily just go like this, and now we can coordinate an exchange between these guys. So this will come here, this will come here. This wants to be where this one is. So let's boot this out of the way, move this in, bring this up in its place, move it back, this comes over to here, this comes to here, and bang. And it's done. So now you've got all these guys in place.